Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Take responsibility for dealing with a toxic woman. You know what? As a man, you gotta take responsibility for dealing with that woman. Now, you get a lot of guys, they deal with some toxic women and, they want to complain about them and everything. Now, there's nothing wrong with pointing out what level of toxicity that they had, because you want others to learn, especially if you're a content creator. But here's the thing, as a man, you got to take responsibility for dealing with her. And now, let me be very clear. This ain't saying you have to deal with her. This ain't saying go grab a toxic woman. Being responsible means you got to be responsible for yourself being in a relationship with her. Because I don't care what look, first of all, let's get out the obvious. She ain't hold a gun to your head. Why you deal with her? She had that fat ass, didn't she? Think about it. She had that fat ass pretty. Hell, she might have rocked your world in the bedroom. Okay, you making a choice. She trying to influence you as much as possible, whatever tricks, games, whatever she want to play. Okay, why you dealing with her? Because she is who she is. Did she hold a gun? You made a choice to deal with her. She ain't hold a gun to you. And if it's about that sex and everything, you made a choice to get with her. Now, if she's like, you feel like, well, this is the only time a beautiful woman get with you. Well, you still making a choice. As a man, you got to ask yourself, why were you there to begin with? She doing all this toxic stuff, probably had red flags. Not even red flags, they were banners flowing. They were like flashing lights. Shoot, you even had some buddies come up. Shoot, even some women might come up to you and say, any platonic friends you got, they might say, you need to leave her alone. But you still there though. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Now, even in situations where she totally lies and everything, you still got to take some responsibility for it. Because it's hard to keep a lie up for a long time. It's hard for a woman to keep a lie up going, unless the man doesn't ask. See, I'm gonna tell you what. A lot of men, they'll see the bad stuff, but then they'll poo-poo it away. They'll say, "Oh, that ain't really happen," or they don't put themselves in position to see it. Why she got that fat ass? But you just like, wait a minute, hold up. This woman doing this, and this to me. She hurt me. In fact, you'll start feeling some pain and can't figure out why. I was like, wait a minute, why everything fucking up for me? You with that toxic woman. Because you get some evil ass toxic women too. And just to be clear, let me be clear, this goes with women of all races. Because one of the things I'm tired of is a bunch of guys saying, oh, black women, this or that. Dude, if you actually dealt with women of other races, you'll see being toxic is universal as hell. It's being toxic is universal. Men of any race can tell you, oh, wait, I got some stories here. Shoot, if you look at the greater manosphere, it's mostly white men. They complaining about the women. Boom. So let me get that out the way first. Stop thinking it's limited to just one racial group. That's ignorant. But whatever the case, you still making a choice, regardless of what that race is. If you dealing with that woman, you making a choice. That's where you have to take the responsibility. You gotta say, what was it within me that fell under the spell of this woman? What was it with you? Okay, she was fine and all that. Okay. But I don't care how fine a woman is, you still gotta get to know her. I talked last week about really understanding a woman's true nature. That means you gotta see what's actually there, not what you want. And not her like stroking your ego or something. In fact, I've talked about that. That's one way to defend yourself against a toxic woman. Keep your ego under control, because that's what she's doing. Because you gotta ask yourself, not that she played you, but what was it within you that allowed her to get away with it? Hell, you need to ask yourself, what was it within you that brought her to you to begin with? Because trust me, women ain't just sitting back. Even the good ones, they checking you out for a while. It's very, very, very rare it's a totally cold approach, because women always looking. You think it's a cold approach. She saw you from a block back, dude. Seriously. You think you asking her out and everything. Shoot, she been playing that all along. She telling her girlfriends, I finally got him, girl. What's that saying? A man chases a woman until she catches him. Please. So, but you got to ask yourself, well, how'd you get caught? What was it in you that fell for her wiles? What was it within you? What's going on? Seriously, even if you manage to get out of the relationship, you need to sit back and say, hold up, I can't have this happen again. So what was it within me that had this woman emptied out my bank account? What did she say or do? You know, and that's very important. Like men want me to talk more about defensive. You got to know your best defense is knowing yourself and knowing not to fall for certain things. You know, what did she ask you to do you didn't really want to do? And why did you do it? And let's just be real. A lot of times it's the fat ass and, you know, whatever you like on a woman, but, you know, sex. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Normal men want sex. But then you still gotta be able to say, well, hold up, I want sex, but I want it under these conditions. I don't want to compromise who I am as a man just to get some. You know, you gotta ask yourself, and you gotta take responsibility and accountability. And before somebody say, they say, well, women don't do it, you're not a woman, motherfucker. Whatever they gonna do, women gonna do what they gonna do. Then you gotta do what you're gonna do regardless. Don't farm out the responsibility. You take responsibility for dealing with that woman. Yeah, she was evil. Yeah, she was wrong. And you know what? You got some women out there that do that stuff and got zero remorse. So now what? She ain't taking no responsibility. You take it, and you taking it not for her on her behalf. You taking it for yourself, so you can live right. See, I'm gonna tell you what. Your first relationship as a man is really with yourself. You gotta be happy with yourself. You gotta like look after yourself. That woman needs to be like, she need to be in cooperation to your operation. She need to fit into your program. But if you allow that toxic woman in, you gotta say, well, what is it about my program that even gave her the thought that she could play me? No, you gotta look at yourself like that. What was it about you? You have to deal with that. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. Like as a man, you gotta take responsibility for what's happening in your life. I don't care what else. Yeah, people are always gonna come at you. You left the door open. Close the door. You know, a woman needs like a player, a woman, something like that. A toxic woman need to look at you and be like, oh no, I ain't messing with it. I ain't even gonna try. And they ain't necessarily saying disrespect. She just know, okay, that shit ain't gonna work with him. Because I'm gonna tell you what, a lot of guys get played because a woman is reading you. She's seeing the weaknesses. Because trust me, women are paying attention. Don't think they just out here. Don't think they just some, even the goody girls, they paying attention. They can probably tell you like little stuff about you if you were to ask them. They can tell you you had a scratch on the back of your shoes or something. You know? They could tell that you like, you know, you looked at that other woman like a little bit too long for her taste. They paying attention. All women are. That's one thing in general. All women are. You get some exceptions, but all women are generally paying attention. But the goody girls, that's not a bad thing. The attractive women, wifey types, or even just the sex partner types, that's not a bad thing. But the toxic women, the ones who will tear your life apart, oh yeah, you need to be very concerned about them. And they're not going to change. Trying to get them to change, please. That ain't going to happen. Most you can do with them is, well, one, once you realize you're with a toxic woman, kick her ass to the curb. Kick her ass to the curb. And then you got to look at yourself and know what it was that she saw in you that said mark. But you got to take responsibility for it. Because if you don't want to, you blame the women, you're going to get played again. Because then that means you ain't look at yourself in the mirror and decided that, okay, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this. Why did I get into this to begin with? Oh, because of this. Then you can change it. It won't happen again. You got to learn from it. You got to take responsibility. Be a man and take responsibility for even being in that place. And complain about the women. And I'm going to say it like this. I don't want to hear any excuses in the comments, man. The woman is the woman. You as a man, this your world. This your world. 2023, we got to be on a different tip. Seriously, men got to stand the fuck up. These women, I'm going to tell you what, just in general, a lot of this stuff, a lot of this rotten stuff guys complain about women do. If you get a critical mass of men who stand up and say, nah, yeah, you can't do it, the women going to back down. They only do what men allow them to do. Let me say that again. Women only do what men allow them to do. All right? They can't do anything to you if you cut it off and say, no, I ain't playing. Zip it, whatever. In fact, I met this woman one time and she was like that hard charger. Hard charger, you should get into it with any man, but she was married to a dude and she said, she said she ain't give him any trouble because he'd look at him dead in the eye and say, zip it. Boom. A woman can't do to you what you don't allow her to do. All right? So anyway, I want y'all to really think on what I just gave you. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace.